Jim, congratulations. How on earth did you manage to achieve a result in a performance like that tonight, given what happened 72 hours ago?
No, it's not. That sounds like there's nothing there. And, we've done something magic. We haven't. We just sort of refocused. And I've said in my programme notes, I think this is the best overall collective squad we've had at this club. And we've got a very professional staff. And we were in yesterday and we did what we needed to do to correct our performance. And the fruits of that are there. And people wonder why I get frustrated, because I know that's there amongst that group of players, within them individually and collectively. And so when I see that, I just think, wow.
It was a fairly perfect first half performance, but you made a change at the interval, obviously bringing Matti on. Tell us about the change and the tactical switch you made.
It wasn't a tactical switch. I think what we decided to do tonight was to be brave and play the 4-2-3-1, but get our Adam Thomas and Darren Stevenson in really strong positions to threaten their side defenders, their free centre-backs. And I think that worked really well. And they weren't able to play, and then we kind of dealt very much with that. I thought Darren started off really bright, and then he got a bad bang on his hand. I think Teague fell on him, and I think he struggled for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and he was seeing the physio, and I just thought we needed something different off the flank. Rather than going outside, we needed somebody that could perhaps come inside and give it a different problem, and no better man than Matti Warburton.
He's had arguably a frustrating season so far. I think he'd be the first to admit that. But that was the Matti of old, wasn't it, tonight? Yeah,
but one of the problems you have with the modern 10s is that they're often snuffed out by the modern 4s.
Yeah.
And, we've talked a lot, me and Matti, about sort of him playing off the left and giving that freedom to come in. He did it against FC United here last year and got 2 goals in the first half in a 4-1 win. He did it against North Ferriby away, played off the left, and he's got great movement off the flank. We were hoping that he weren't having to be pulled too far back, because that's not his strength or Daz's, but it was the way he started the second half in terms of just the extra touch, the extra bit of control. But if you put him in and around the edge of the box, I think he's a tremendous finisher. For this level, he's probably a cut above this level. I'm sure that if he gave himself a chance to play higher and get fitter and stronger, he'd have a really good chance.
Well, no team has scored 3 goals against Chorley this season. I think Brackley managed 2, and everybody else has got 1 or none. A key component of that tonight, I think, was Niall Bell, up against 3 centre-halves. But goodness me, he led the line so well for a young striker. That was a great performance.
Yeah, he could have capped off a really solid bit. I think what we try to do with Niall is that, it sounds like he had his work cut out up front against 3, and I didn't want him chasing the side defenders. I wanted him to stay up against the middle one, and that the pressure on the side defenders was going to come from our wingers, and then it was up to our full-backs then to rotate the back 4 to move around. And I thought it was a simple instruction, and I think the lads took it ball brilliantly, but it allowed Niall to be really on the shoulder of the last defender. I think to the point that Teague decided to take himself out of the centre and move to the right and let Lever deal with it. But you can see the potential he has. But again, it was you can't pick out any one player, even Matti Warburton, because it's our first clean sheet in the league. It's even if somehow that game conspired to be a 0-0 or we lost, I'd have been still proud of the way the lads went about their business. But because we wanted a filed night, we wanted like a night where maybe some fans weren't here, it was like up against it, what we about, and a night where there was lots of emotion and lots of passion in the game and lots of quality. And I think but this was better than fire, because we beat the top of the league 3-0 and shown that we are a team that's got tremendous potential. And like I said in my programme notes, I think they're a collective squad that's got more. I mean, look, we all missed the likes of Danny Lloyd and the Jimmy Balls and the Lewis Montrose and that, but collectively I think they show tonight that they're a very good group of players, and we have to now keep moving on. That's 8 games without a defeat. We're starting to show that we can win games and be very accomplished at home, so I'm really pleased.
I mean, there did seem to be a different mood inside the ground tonight, and I don't know if that got through to you, but you didn't seem to be having to work as hard on the touchline tonight. Was that a conscious thing on your part, or is that just a reflection of the way the lads performed from the first whistle?
I think we were conscious about sort of the need to coach and the need maybe to stimulate things, and you know, I had to do a little bit of work for the final 15 minutes half when we went through a little tired phase. But to be fair, I think the lads were very motivated, very organised, and almost to a T they did what we wanted for them. And you know, we are conscious that there's people behind us waiting for us to have a go at us. But as somebody said, you know, it's not about. I've always said it's not about proving the critics behind me right. Yeah, I still had somebody tell me to sit down. It's just. But look, it's not about proving any doubters or any critics wrong. I've always said it's about proving the people that believe in you right. Now I walk down the street and people, you know, fathers of the mascots, and there's so many people that I meet and they tell me, Jim, we believe in what you're doing and where you're going with the club. And it's them people that want to prove right. And I think tonight was one of those nights where those that believe in what we're trying to achieve and perhaps can see the light, have shown that their courage and faith in what we're doing is right.
Matti Warburton be on the bench at Keighren on Saturday, do you think?
Look, it'd be very hard to leave him out. But you know, like I said, Matti is trying to find the right system for all these players. Yeah. And I thought Elliot Osborne was an unsung hero in the sense of that he kind of. Sometimes you need a 10 who's got a little bit more mobility and a bit more divil in him and a little bit more getting around the pitch and putting centre-backs under pressure. That's not Matty's game, and I think you know that Matti playing off that side there was worked well for him tonight, and like I said, it was brilliant for him to score a hat-trick in such a manner against such a team in front of Keighren.
It's 8 unbeaten, as you rightly say, and you've just smashed the league leaders 3-0. Well done tonight.
Thanks so much.